Hi guys, my name is Gary and I am a plant doctor here at the Moana Nursery. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the honey locust tree. I love honey locust trees. In fact, I have a pretty big one in my yard for a reason. The first thing I like about it is that they have edible fruit. It's actually how it got its name, honey locust, is the green pith inside the fruit is actually pretty sweet at the right time of year. But other crazy things about this tree, fun fact-wise, is that you can make coffee out of the seeds. You can make bread out of the seedlings. It's actually pretty historically important in American history, as Native Americans use this tree as a food source all over the country, and lots of those trees are still there to this day. Another interesting thing about this tree is it's actually a giant pea tree. It's in the legume family, and one of the interesting things about that is that there's a lot of evidence to suggest that it can fixate nitrogen and store it in the soil, thereby making plants nearby a little bit healthier. But we can't really find the exact mechanism that they use it, because like other legumes, they are missing the nitrogen fixing nodules that are connected to the root. So it's a bit of a mystery on the tree there. One thing I would advise against is pruning this tree just a little bit too much. It has a vestigial trait in which it can start to spike out if it's over pruned. It's trying to defend itself from its ancient predators like mammoth and giant ground sloth. They're not around anymore, but if you prune it too hard, you can convince it to think that they are. When you buy this tree and get it home, the first thing you want to do is dig a hole about twice the size of the root ball here. When you dig the hole, you want to backfill some of that soil with just a little bit of soil amendment. Too much isn't very good for this tree because we're trying to convince it to grow into the clay out here, which it's very ready to do. Once you get the tree planted, you want to give it a real big drink of water to kind of help it with the establishment process. But from there, you want to let it kind of dry out a little bit in between the next watering schedule. And in fact, repeating that process is what's healthiest for this tree. It wants to get very wet and then dry out to near completion. The tree will grow a little slowly when you first get it planted. They tend to take a little while to establish the roots, but by the time year 2 or maybe year 3 comes around, you're going to notice a few feet of growth every single season. It's very fast growing once it's established. It has a few colorful effects too. Like in the end of the season, the leaves will start to turn a very vibrant yellow before they shed off. And then alternatively in the spring, when the leaves grow out, they're also a very vibrant yellow. It just kind of turns to green about halfway through the summer, stays there for a little bit, and then it drops its leaves relatively early. So don't be concerned when you see it starting to fall asleep a little faster than some of the other trees in your yard. So I'll leave you guys off with a few things. The honey locust is a great shade tree for the garden, but what if it gets too big? The good news is that today we have a lot of different varieties of honey locusts, some that get quite large and some that stay much smaller. But what that means for you is we can find the perfect honey locust for your yard, as long as you've got the sun.